People from outside of school ask me a lot, like, what is tunes? Like, I don't really understand. And it's hard to explain. It's like, well, we put on this little 6-minute musical kind of thing, and everyone's really smiley the whole time. And I was like, okay.
I think the biggest difference from like being a director, like just like participating, like I never knew like what all really went behind it and how much work went into it. And so like seeing that, like seeing like there's deadlines and like having to keep up with everything and being in contact with each other and contacting the club and like updating them, like.
And we did a lot of work this summer that you don't have to do if you're just performing.
You think that, you know, once you get to the rehearsal process, you know, you have the show and it's like almost finished, but that's really when the journey just begins.
You know, for both of us, we were just used to showing up and learning a show, but we're actually, you know, like, it's almost our baby, our creation. Like,
being part of a show, you feel like you're really like weighted down with all the practices and stuff. And when you're directing a show, you're really weighted down with all the practices and stuff. But also you have to figure out what the heck you're gonna do in those practices.
And everyone's like jokes about like, oh, the betas, they don't ever try, but I mean, you can't do it with no effort, so it's actually harder than you would think, I think.
Because I've taken pride in the performances before, because like you put a lot of work into it in the rehearsals, but to take that 4-week process and make it into like a 7-month process from beginning to end or something like that is just, you put so much of yourself into it that I love it. It's my baby.
our freshman year, I was in the North Pole.
And we had bells at the bottom of our costume that were like hand glued on with string. And a lot of work was put into it. And our first time that we run with costumes, these bells that were jingling around, anytime anyone ran next to each other, the bells would get like swing and get caught on other costumes.
And the first night of the performance, they got like tangled in each other and were like ripping, and just like all of ours, by the end of the first night, they were gone.
And so I would get thrown up in the air and my helmet, I would always go up in the air, my feet would go straight out. And I'd always kick off someone's helmet, and so it would go bouncing around. They'd have to go scramble for it.
CM prom, and Aiden had a solo. And it was hilarious because there was one point where he like stumbles or trips, and every single time, no one could tell whether he actually tripped and it wasn't planned or if it was planned. And like, everyone's like, oh no. And so in my frozen stance, I'm cracking up every single time.
Well, we had one girl who ate about 13, 14 cookies, and she was just wired. I mean, we would be like, you've got to stand still for this part, and she was just bouncing around and acting so crazy.
Eat a lot of pixie sticks.
I'm pretty sure I poured pixie sticks in Julie's mouth. Just like
we have a picture. And then when you come over here, you're like,
yeah, we go through packs of pixie sticks a night.
30 seconds before we go on, Spencer Bryson comes running down the line telling us to poke our fingers in our bellies to make it look like we had belly buttons. So that was like happening as we were going on stage, and I think that's funny.
During our first tunes practice, we started to use some of our props, and we actually broke some of them.
Maddie Hargis, she just face planted on the stage during the first song, and I had no idea that it happened. She was my partner. She was behind me, I completely missed it.
There's so many elements that we can incorporate with Express. So it's not just like Kappa Chi, flowers, lawnmowers, like one specific thing, but it's like a lot of things that we can do with it.
And I talked to Leslie, and Leslie was talking to me about themes, and she's like, I've always wanted this theme since I was a freshman. Tri-Chi tumbleweeds. And I was like, okay, I can get down with that. I'm pretty sure it was you that brought it up. You're just like, clocks. And we were like, that's actually awesome.
Bo Daggett was just making puns of our letters. And so he was saying Eta Alpha Olympics, Eta Alpha Osaka, Eta Amish Omega. He was just trying to come up with funny things that sounded like our letters.
Kind of starts, we're having a perfect day, everything's going good, and then all of a sudden this rain comes and we're so upset about it, and then we're like, you know what, let's just go out and we're gonna dance in the rain, and
we're gonna have fun anyway, and
yeah, we're gonna make it a good rainy day.
There's something inherently hilarious about so many of the different experiences that you have when you go to one of those big stores that is just like the sell everything store. And I know that the people who work at that store go through so many different things and so many hilarious experiences.
It just happened to correspond with this year's Olympics, so it all.
I didn't even realize that when we picked it, honestly.
Yeah.
People think we're trying to be clever. No, we just got lucky.
You're with your best friends for 3 weeks straight. You're with each other every single night, and it really is just so much fun to participate in tunes. And it is stressful, and you have class and work and sports and other things too, but it's probably the most fun thing that I've ever done at Ouachita.
Ouachita holds traditions like really tight.
It's homecoming, and that's what brings everybody home. So I know it's just a great thing to look forward to.
Such a rush that comes along with tunes, and I think that's ultimately why people love it so much, because it really is unlike anything else that we do at Ouachita.
It just really showcases all the clubs and other organizations.
It's such an awesome fundraiser. Like literally we're raising all this money to go towards our students. Like it's our community helping our own community. So, and in what better way to do it than doing something so much fun? But
I think alumni likes to see Ouachita students today. I think that they like to see that we are not only here learning and growing, but like we're having fun and making those memories.
Through raising over $100,000 of scholarship money each year, that's incredible. And it speaks to like how faithful the alumni are, but also how much the school and the student body really love everything that Tiger Tunes is.
You have people from all different kinds of backgrounds coming together to sing and dance, which a lot of people, if you're not me, don't normally do. And it's really cool to see how much fun everyone has together.
It's just really cool to see how a bunch of people on campus can come together to create something so creative and so fun and so awesome, and then be able to impact the students that are participating in it and help them be able to come back to Ouachita. And so I think that makes Tiger Tunes so unique and so incredible.
I mean, it's Tiger Tunes. What else can you say to describe it?
I don't know if they ever released the standings, but last year I saw the standings.
We asked.
Or not last year, it was 2 years ago. Yeah. I went and looked back and I asked the judges, and they actually said that we had gotten second place in every single category of every single night. And
couldn't be more
proud.
proud.
Yeah, we couldn't be more proud of that.